What's up, Forney? This is Sean Myers, City Council Place 2. Just wanted to do a quick video for you today and talk about the upcoming agenda for the City Council meeting on Tuesday. It's going to be at 6:30 p.m. as usual. I think it's going to be a fairly quick meeting. We should be able to get through most of the items pretty quick. Just wanted to talk about a few of the items on the agenda that I thought might be more interesting for you guys, more exciting for what's coming to Forney. And as I mentioned in my last video, if you watched it, I may have a surprise for this video, and I do. I'm going to save that for last. But let's go ahead and talk about a few of those items. The first one is discussion and action item number 3. That's going to cover the bricks there in front of City Hall. There's some bricks there on the ground that we put in after we redid the parking and the roads and sidewalks and stuff through there. With that new project, the way that we did it, now there's an extra 194 bricks available for sale to put down in where the rest of them are. If you're interested in putting, buying one and putting your family's name on there, or a business name, individual name, whatever you might want to do, keep that in mind. I'll have details on what you'll need to do and stuff like that after our meeting, after we discuss this and go through the approval process. The idea would be to use the funds generated from the sales of those bricks to help put up some flags in front of City Hall and possibly a monument of some sort as well. So we'll discuss that Tuesday night and see what comes of that, and then I'll give you details afterward. The next one is discussion action item number 4, which covers food vendor permitting. We've all heard in the past that maybe Forney in the past has been pretty difficult to get things approved and go through the process for businesses to get in here and the vendor permitting process and all that stuff. So we're going to discuss that a bit Tuesday night and help make that easier, hopefully, for food vendors, such as the ones at the maybe even food trucks at our events, or the ones at our farmers market and stuff like that. So I think that'll be a really cool one to help get some more food vendors in here at our various events and stuff like that in Forney. The next one is a close one to me, and it actually has a bit of a funny story behind it. It's discussion action item number 5, and it's about a possible Forney Youth Council that I want to bring to Forney. There was a video that was trending across Facebook a couple or so months ago with a couple of Dallas City Council members arguing over the funding of their youth council. And while I was watching it to be entertained, I became interested in this youth council they were talking about. I didn't even know they existed, but they apparently exist all across the United States in various roles, not just with City Council, but they have all kinds of youth councils that handle various roles in different areas of the United States. They have, our ISD even has a similar program, which we're going to meet with them about and try and bring that together with what I want to do with the Forney Youth Council. My thoughts on the Forney Youth Council is we would put together a youth city council, and they would help advise our city council on the things that they would like to see in Forney. We've had a lot of talk in the past about needing to bring things into Forney that would help entertain our youth. And I think this is a great opportunity to allow our youth to give us their voice on what they would like to see. It's easy to just come up with ideas and throw stuff around and hope it succeeds, but let's talk to our youth and let them help advise us, give them some experience with how city government works, how that process works, and I would like to be able to hopefully talk to the ISD and see if they'll give them community service credits with their volunteer work with this and stuff like that. I think it's going to be a very cool program if we can get it to work out right and if City Council ends up approving it. I'll have more details on that. There's a lot more to talk about with that, but I'll keep it short for now. Yeah, once we get through that process of talking it out and meeting with the ISD, I'll give you details on what that's going to entail and see if your youth want to get involved as well. And we're going to have different phases of the parks coming up, and we have some stuff on the agenda later that's going to talk about some cool stuff that would be good for our youth to be involved in as well. So I'd like to put them in the discussion and get their feedback and go from there. So again, details to come after that. That's the last item before the surprise. Now, before I was elected, before I decided to run for city council, I sat in the crowd at city council meetings and watched a business come here. They went through their engineering process, and they, wasted their time and money, and they conformed to all of our standards. They conformed to TxDOT standards for the roads and intersection around it. And then when they came before our city council threw them a curveball and denied them based on quote unquote safety issues with where the location was going to be. It was very contentious at the time. I was annoyed by it. It angered me to see how this went down. And when I decided to run, that was going to be the number one thing on my agenda, was to get them back in Forney, so we can right a wrong and fix what was done wrong in the past. And that business is raising canes. If you look on the executive session agenda, there is an item called LCG Highway 80 LLC. That's the developer there at the corner of 548 and 80. That's where Canes was going to go before. They are still very interested in Forney. I called shortly after I was elected to see if they would still be interested in coming to Forney, and they are. So we are going to be discussing a letter that we would send to TxDOT requesting that they be okay with the original study that they did on the intersection layout there in Forney. And that's the first step in this process. If TxDOT approves the letter that we send them and they are fine with the engineering of that intersection, then we will move on to talking to Canes about coming and starting construction there at that intersection. So I'm very excited about that. It's going to fix something that I think was a very wrong that the city council did in the past. So that's going to be talked about in executive session. Like I said, there'll be results of that after executive session. There may be a motion on that, we'll see, but I'll let everyone know what happens there in case you don't go to the meeting. So that's all the things I wanted to talk about for this meeting. If you are excited about Canes coming back to Forney, hopefully everything goes through well and we get everything approved and move on and they get started construction. Hopefully they can be here shortly after the first of the year or so. If you're excited about that, post up, let me know. Share this video, let everyone know that Canes may be coming back to Forney, and we'll talk to you after the meeting about the results of all this stuff. If I don't have another video up before Thanksgiving, just want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving, and y'all have a great week, and we'll talk to you later on. That's the state of Forney.